Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Sunny, aka the Oracle of Alexandria, and today I have another pick a card reading for you. The topic for today's reading is, what do you need to reach your goals? So it is another guidance reading. To pick your pile, you'll choose intuitively. I have these alphabet oracle stones here from the Greek alphabet oracle to help you choose the piles, but if none of those resonate with you, you can always choose the pile on the left, the right, or the middle. So this alphabet letter is Chai or Kai. This one for pile 2, which is in the center, is Delta and Omega, or Delta and Omega. And then for pile 3, we have Omicron and Lambda, or Omicron and Lambda. All right, so that's pretty much all you need to know about this reading. Go ahead and choose your pile, use your intuition. If your intuition is not speaking to you on this reading, you can choose a pile at random and see. Since these are general readings, there should be something in here for everyone. So I'm going to go ahead and cut to the footage of the pile formation, and then I will see you in your respective pile, and the timestamps will be down below. Thank you again so much for joining me, and see you in your reading. Hello Pile 1, welcome to your reading. So I'm going to go ahead and sort the cards out here, but again, the topic for this reading is what is needed to reach your goals. And I will go ahead and skip forward to, I'm not skipping, I will speed up the footage to once I have all the cards laid out for you, and then we will begin the reading proper. But thank you again so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the reading proper. Okay, so welcome to your reading proper. For those who are new, this central pile of cards here, or column of cards here, represents a dominant theme, energy, or context of the reading as a whole. And then, of course, the other cards will help flesh that out. Normally, I would actually have another card here, but none of the other decks had anything to add for this reading, at least none of the ones that I currently own. So, but we'll get to the Alphabet Oracle and the other little Oracle card that I pulled for you guys at the end of the reading. So, with all of that said, let's go ahead and see what lies at the heart of your reading. We have opposition. That is very interesting. The keywords here for opposition are opposite viewpoints, personal differences, a communication gap, disharmony, misunderstandings, and estrangement. All right, and then we have touching earth, planting something new. Very interesting. Okay, and finally, we have the Egyptian god Amsu, and his realm is Ah. And I'm probably not saying that correct, so please forgive me if you happen to speak ancient Egyptian and I totally butchered it. So, it does seem like for most of you, pile one, you're trying to start something new, but there is some opposition. My initial feeling when I saw this card was that it was opposition within the self. So for some of you watching, it could be that there is something that you need to start doing that you are resistant to. Let me go ahead and take a look at the book for Amsu, because this oracle deck is one that I've had for a long time, but I've actually avoided using it because it's more than just an oracle. It's the Book of Doors. It's a complete divination system within itself, and I just haven't had the time to familiarize myself with it. But every time I do a reading, just about, it wants to come out, at least when I do readings for YouTube. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and see what does the book have to say here. So the realm is Ah, and the deity is Amsu. All right. Okay, the procreator. All right, so we have another card that's about creation, which maybe should have been obvious given the art, but I I try not to make assumptions and just go with either what my intuition is telling me or what the book has to say. But let's see. So Amsu is clearly connected with fertility and procreation, called Lord of Eternity. He is an aspect of Amun and a clearly defined principle himself. Where Amun is the hidden god, as the semen is hidden in the body, Amsu brings what is hidden into the open through his regenerative power. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop there because I don't want this video to be, you know, demonetized or censored or whatever YouTube might do with it, but you get the gist. That Amsu has to do with creation, has links to sensual pleasure, for example. So I do feel like some of you are creating something with a partner and there is disagreement. You're kind of at an impasse and you can't really proceed. For most of you, though, I'm still feeling, at least for now, that this is something within the self, a change that you need to make to give yourself a fresh beginning, planting something new that you were kind of resisting for some reason. But let's look at the tarot cards here and see what these cards have to say. So we have the 10 of Wands. Okay. That is a card about obligation. So already we're getting some interesting additional info here for you. We have the Queen of Wands. We have the Six of Swords. The Star, or the Stars as it is called in this deck. I think this card may be meant to depict Galileo, but I'm not sure. The little white book that comes with it doesn't say much about the art. Then we have Strength. And lastly, we have the Empress. Okay. So with the Empress coming out here, with Amsu here, we have a mix of masculine and feminine energies coming together. The Empress is someone who wants to enjoy life. She can be very sensual. She likes comfort. She likes pleasure. She's also very protective. So you have these two energies here that are very intimate, very romantic, very... so yes, for some of you, I do think that you are having some struggles with a partner or possibly a coworker, someone that you are creating something with, something together with. It could be a life, could be a child, could be an art project, a business, whatever the case is. You're creating something, and there is resistance. And again, for some of you, that is resistance within the self. We see here with the 10 of Wands that for most of you watching, you probably already have a lot of obligations, and you may be worried that starting this new project is just going to create more burden for you. But if you notice, all of the cards around the 10 of Wands here are very positive cards. So we have the Six of Swords here. The Six of Swords is a card about moving towards a better place, moving into a better position or a better future. It is moving away from fear, anxiety, stress, worry, toxic situations, things of that nature. So your situation regarding being burdened in some way, being tied down, it is going to change. And going with this, quote unquote, planting something new, seeing the enjoyable side of it. You may be focusing on the burdensome side of it, the whatever it is about this project that you really don't like the idea of. You may be too focused on the negative, and it would be helpful instead to focus on what you would actually enjoy about this project, about what you are planting and sowing. You have two very powerful cards here about pleasure and sensuality and happiness and comfort and things of that sort. With the Star, or the Stars, as it is called, you're being guided to this, and it could be, for some of you, a partner guiding you to it. It could be your guides. It could be just your inner voice telling you, we really should do this. And for some of you, you're just like, no, but I don't want to do that because I'm afraid that it's going to create burdens for me, more burden than I already have, more than I need. And the thing is that, again, we have very powerful sensual energy here, and here. We also have very powerful creative energy here, and here. So, and here as well. This is something that needs to be creative. With the stars here, it's almost divinely ordained, in a sense, that this is something that needs to come about within your life, and you're resisting it. Maybe because you're afraid, maybe because you don't want the burdens, whatever it is. It seems like this is something that really needs to happen for you. And the end result, the long-term result, is going to be positive. You have this ship here coming in. So, this might be a merchant's vessel coming into port to, bring either new goods, to help build wealth, to help build happiness, coming into a safe port if you are leaving a difficult situation, etc. And for some of you, you may be in a difficult financial situation. I am getting this feeling, especially with the Empress here, and then Amsu, two cards that are very much related to physicality. I do feel like some of you are afraid that starting something new will lead to financial burden for you that you just can't afford right now. But it does seem like the end result is going to be very positive, that you are going to move to a place from burden to happiness, to being able to manifest what you desire. All you have to do is take the first step, plant something new. Change doesn't need to happen overnight. It's not a race. It's a journey. You're walking a path. You can take your time. You can go on detours. It doesn't need to be all at once. It doesn't need to be right away. Just start. Plant your seeds. The next thing you have to do is wait for them to sprout. You have to nurture them. You have to meet their needs in that regard. But ultimately, following this path, opening yourself up to accepting this planting of something new in your life, is going to help you move in a better direction. And you've got strength here. So you have that divine support and protection. You also have that strength and ability within yourself to get this done. You've got the Queen of Wands, you've got the Empress, two very powerful manifestation cards. You've got everything you need. You just have to take the first step. Okay. So here for your Dragon Oracle, Star Dragon Oracle, we have space. And the number on this is 5, for those of you for whom this number might be applicable. Some people, they like the numbers on things. So this is 12, this is 38, and this is 3. And then we have 5. So space refers to, in this context, it referring to opening yourself up and creating space for this something new in your life. Again, this is something that you need to do, and you are capable of giving it to yourself. You just have to stop resisting. Then we have the Wyvern, or the Wyvern, as some people say it. Your secrets are safe. I'm actually going to look at the guidebook for this one. I have some ideas about what it means, some intuitions and so on, but the book has a way of surprising you, despite the flavor text or the keywords on the card. There's usually something deeper there that I don't want to miss with this card in this reading. Okay. All right. So we have the Wyvern. The Wyvern is a keeper of secrets and a granter of second chances. It is a sign that hidden things remain safe and secure. The Wyvern advises to keep your ideas to yourself at this time. The best kept secrets are never shared. Don't reveal your intentions until you are ready to fully enact them. Likewise, don't betray a confidence that has been entrusted to you. So already I feel like this is very relevant to this reading. So there is an aspect here just of what we've read so far that is about not getting ahead of yourself. You know, plant your seeds. You don't need to tell everybody that you've started it. You know, wait until something starts to grow, until something starts to bear fruit, and then you can share, okay, you know, this is what I'm doing, this is what I've started. You know, you can start this project by yourself for those of you who are working with a partner, so long as you are not violating anyone's trust or consent. Please keep that in mind. All right, so let's continue with the Wyvern. Sorry, I had an ex who used to say wyvern, and I've always said it wyvern. I'm not sure exactly how it's supposed to be pronounced, but now every time I want to go to say it, I want to say it wyvern, and so I have to stop myself and pronounce it wyvern. All right. The Wyvern may also represent a conflict of emotions or feelings of guilt. Now is the time to forgive past transgressions and free yourself from any lingering ghosts that persist to haunt you. Learn from experience and mistakes of the past and pursue your goals with newfound wisdom. Failure teaches valuable lessons. Fate grants you the opportunity to redeem yourself. Do not repeat old mistakes. Capitalize on opportunities that allow you to correct past regrets. So I have a feeling that this second paragraph here is really speaking strongly to this Ten of Wands, that there is a fear of failure with this, that there are past regrets about the way you've done things in the past that probably didn't work out for one reason or another. But the good news is that this one is very, very likely to work out. I mean, you've got all of the proper energies, the proper support cards here, really telling you that now is the time to do it again. Maybe do it differently. You know, learn from your past mistakes, change what needs to be changed to yield better results, to yield a better harvest for yourself. Okay. And then for the final paragraph we have, because of its fearless nature, the Wyvern also appears in heraldry as a symbol of courage and strength. A kindred spirit of the dragon and the griffin, the Wyvern shares the ability to take flight in order to reach lofty goals. If you fall short of attaining your desires, analyze your mistakes and prepare a better strategy for the future. Be ready when fate presents a second opportunity that may allow you to achieve your dreams. Okay. So with the Wyvern here, it is important to remember there is an element of needing to be ready to spread your wings and fly when the wind comes up for you, or spread your sails and set sail when the wind starts blowing in your direction, when the current is moving in your direction. So there is an aspect of proper timing. So you've got this element of the secrets, keeping it to yourself. That other aspect of it is the other side of that energy is about proper timing, about taking the opportunity at the right time. Don't rush in. And again, try to learn from past mistakes and alter your approach in a way that's going to help you actually reach your goals this time. You've got all of the knowledge and wisdom that you need. You've got support. You've got inner strength. You've got the ability to get it done. You just have to give yourself the opportunity. So when that chance comes to you, take it. Just make sure that you wait for opportune timing. Do not rush. Okay. let's see what the cards on the other side of your reading have to say here. All right, at the heart of the cards on this side, we have the Knight of Coins or Pentacles. We have the Two of Rods or Wands. We have the Tower. The Seven of Rods or Wands. We have Mastery. Absolutely love this card. Like, this is literally the reason I bought this deck, because this card is so gorgeous. I love the four horses there being the four elements and so on. All right, and then we have the Five of Pentacles. All right, so with the Knight of Coins, again, there is an aspect to him of perfect timing or right timing. So the Knight of Pentacles is very rooted or grounded energy compared to the other knights who tend to be very movement oriented. The Knight of Pentacles is very strong, he's rooted, and he's got everything he needs. Again, just like the Queen of Wands tells you, she is capable, she's ready to manifest her dreams. The Knight of Pentacles is someone who is prepared for the task at hand. So your proper timing may be about waiting until you have enough money to do it the right way, instead of cutting corners or skimping. Just as an example, make sure that you are prepared, because that is who the Knight of Coins is. He's someone who is ready to get the job done because he has his armor, he has his pentacles, he has his horse, usually. He's just prepared and ready to go. He's not going to be off guard. You can see here, he's got a very vigilant expression. He's alert. He's looking what's going on around him. So make sure that you prepare. Make sure that you are in the best possible position that you can be before you launch this effort. It will ultimately bear fruit. It will ultimately be a good thing that you opened yourself up to this, that you spread your wings and took flight towards creating what you desire. You need to plan well and plan, for some of you, better than you may have in the past. This isn't something that should be rushed. Again, think about planting seeds. You plant them, you wait until they germinate, then you nurture them, you give them everything they need, and ultimately you wait until they bloom in their own time, in their own way. It's not something that can be rushed or forced. It has to happen in its own way, and it needs to be supported so that ultimately it can go the way that you want it to. Like, if you just plant a seed and let it go, it might get ate by a squirrel or something. It might lack water and die of dehydration. There's so many things. You have to be there to support your dreams and your goals, which means being prepared, not being too hasty, and just nurturing things in the right direction. It's not something that you can force, even though it is something that's most likely going to happen. It seems fairly like divinely decreed almost with some of this energy that it is going to happen. You just need to be ready to make the most of the opportunity and to support the opportunity to bear the most fruit for you. Okay, with the Two of Wands, again, we have that aspect of planning. Looking towards the future, figuring out all the details, and then figuring out how to get there. See, this card, don't let it fool you. You have a sort of a jester on stilts. I mean, if you've never walked on stilts, it takes a lot of forethought to where am I going to take my next step? Because if you take a misstep, you're going to fall down. If you step in a hole, you're going to lose your balance. You're going to fall down. So you need to be prepared. You need a good idea of the landscape ahead of you. And I do believe that for most of you, Pile 1, you've got that experience already under your belts. It's just a matter of tweaking your approach to actually reach your goal, learning from the past and doing things differently as needed. with the Seven of Wands, there could be some struggle. Again, there could be some opposition. From some of you that is within the self, from some of you that is outside of the self, especially with the Seven of Rods here. But you are able to defend your position. See, he is successful. He's not a failure. You're able to do it. So you may have some struggle, not just opposition on an intellectual level from people around you in your life, but you may have some struggle getting it done. Perhaps the planning phase, maybe that's not your strong suit. It's okay to take it slow. Don't rush. Just nurture your seeds. Make sure you have everything you need to be able to nurture them, and then nurture them and let them grow. With mastery here, you have the 4 elements, and then the charioteer here probably represents the element of spirit. So you have everything you need. Again, just like the Queen of Wands, you have mastery over the 4 elements. You have all of the materials, the know-how, the everything. I mean, if we're going, cups, swords, pentacles, wands, you have the passion, you have the drive, you have the knowledge and wisdom, you have the emotional, intuitive abilities necessary to figure things out. You have the material situation almost perfectly ready for you. I mean, again, remember that perfect timing. You have everything you need to get this done. The important thing is that you don't be afraid of failure. The 5 of Pentacles can often represent people being in a difficult time. So this here might be that, you have everything you need, but it's not quite the right moment to start planting these seeds, to start making the changes that you need to make. There's also, again, don't be afraid of failing. If you take the time to plan everything out properly, you can weather the storm. You have everything you need. You have the mastery of the situation. You just need to stop being afraid of failing, because that is ultimately not what is in the cards for you. It might be difficult for a while, but it will eventually start to bear fruit and work out for you. Okay, lastly, we have Libra. So already we've got the scales there. There is this energy of a need for balance. And again, that comes back to right timing. That comes back to planning things out, not rushing, knowing the steps that you're going to take. How and why are you going to take them? And then do it. When the right opportunity presents itself, go for it. Another aspect of Libra is that you need to obviously plan and look at all sides of everything, but try to avoid indecisiveness. If you become too bogged down in the details, you can reach a place where there's going to be inaction. You're not going to be able to act when the time is right. The purpose of balancing the scales is so that you have harmony, so that you are capable of taking the opportunities when they present themselves for you and making the most of them. So remember this, the need for planning, for balance, it's all over this reading. So please remember to be careful. Don't be hasty. Don't be reckless. Take a look at your past attempts and where you may have gone wrong and try to amend your approach to get better results. That is very important here. Don't get lost in fear or indecision. You know what you're doing. You're capable of making the right choices and doing the right thing. You just have to plan and take the opportunity when the right time comes. Okay, let's look at your shadow cards here. And then again, for the Alphabet Oracle, we'll go over that towards the end of the reading here with the final Oracle card. Okay, so at the heart of the reading now, we have contemplation. So again, that need for planning, not rushing ahead, needing to take a deep look at everything that you want to do. Why are you doing it this way? Why are you not doing it that way? What are your reasons for it? You can figure it out. You can work it out. You have the ability, the skill, the experience. I mean, yeah, there might be some struggles, but you are capable of getting through it. So, let's see. We have sacred gratitude here, reverent appreciation and prayer, and the number on that is 50. So that's interesting. We have 5 and then we have 50. Let's take a look at the guidebook for this one. I will say that prayer kind of comes back to contemplation. Usually when we pray, we tend to go into a very introspective state, depending on how you pray. I mean, everybody prays a little bit differently, but oftentimes we go into an introspective state. So, but I don't want to just assume that's all there is to that card. So let's take a look at the guidebook for you. Okay. All right, so that's number 50. Okay, sacred gratitude. This card brings a simple but profoundly important message to you. The woman peacefully stands alone in a quiet forest, reverently placing her hands on an ancient tree. With eyes closed, she feels a deep connection to the towering tree, truly appreciating its graceful, majestic presence in her life. This card is telling you to let go of external concerns long enough to spend some time in sacred gratitude. This reverent appreciation calls for you to pause and reflect, to truly feel the value of your life and of your earthly environment down to the depths of your very soul. This is not so much about listening to all the good, this is not so much about listing of all of the good things you already have, as it is about simply experiencing the wonder of being one with nature, one with your soul, and one with the planet and everything on it. This mystical approach is easy to adopt through a meditative thought, a deep breath, or a quiet smile. Okay, so again, we have this energy. It's kind of double. Like, the cards really are stressing the need to plan and be prepared and wait for the right opportunity. Do not rush. So that is extremely important for you to remember. Having this energy come up again and again and again throughout the reading, like it's abundantly clear. The cards, the guides, the gods, whomever you believe this comes from, your higher self, it wants you to know that this is necessary to change your approach to reach your goals. Okay. So let's see. Be careful not to dismiss this choice as frivolous. This inwardly peaceful intention is actually a dynamic energy accelerator. Each quiet, uncluttered moment of gratitude will summon the communal grace of both the creative and magnetic forces flowing through the world, and you can ride these energetic waves with joy. So take some time to engage in this deeper sense of gratitude now. And if this card is surrounded by activity-filled, high-energy cards in your spread, it's all the more important to weave these peaceful moments of grateful reflection into your daily life. Profound appreciation brings expansive and valuable results. And there's an affirmation there. If you would like to read that, you're welcome to pause and do so. Okay. Let's see what else we have here for you. All right, we have the Ace of Swords. Okay, so this is very positive here. The Ace of Swords, again, notice the figure has wings. They're taking flight. They have this new opportunity. They're going for it. But they also have the gift of clear thought. For some of you who are very spiritual people, there is an aspect to the Ace of Swords about spiritual truth and higher values. And so for some of you with sacred gratitude here, you may have that as well. When you are ready to proceed, you will have clear thought, spiritual truth, higher values, augmenting your approach, preparing you, helping you, supporting you. But you can do it. This clear thought is all about the product of planning carefully and making sure that you're prepared. Okay, let's see. Then we have number 2, resources. Again, make sure that you are prepared. Make sure that you've got everything ready to go so that you're not caught by surprise. Prepare for surprises if need be. Make sure that you don't wind up in a place of financial difficulty as a result of taking this opportunity. You can do better. You can plan it in such a way where you can avoid this. So make sure that you're prepared with all of your resources, your internal resources, your external resources. Okay, then we have the Hand of Fate. Forces beyond your control intervene. So again, this comes back to right timing and what I was saying about the stars here, that this feels like this change that needs to happen, the seeds that need to be planted, is divinely ordained for you. And the way to get your crop to bear fruit is with that planning, with making sure every detail is ready and waiting for the right timing. I'm going to go off on a little tangent here, so I apologize. I know this video is already running long, but my grandmother and I were recently wanting to start a garden so that we could grow some of our own food, given the cost of groceries and everything. Unfortunately, it is July, early July as I'm filming this, and that's too late to start planting seeds. Right timing is everything. If you want this to succeed, that planning is essential. Okay. All right, so we have the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords, much like the Knight of Pentacles, is someone who is very vigilant. The page may not be the king, he's not a master, but he's honed his skills. He's preparing to go further. He uses his experience to help him become a knight and to help him become a king in the end. So you need to have your due diligence to your cause. Make sure you have everything ready and then go for it. Okay. Actually, I forgot this card here, so I apologize about that. These are so small. All right, so here we have Seth. His domain is Ra. And Seth is a god of chaos. He's a god of destruction. But through that destruction, new life can be born. Seth, or Set, is actually very multi-dimensional, but if we're looking here at the artwork, You would have to talk to a devotee of Seth to fully understand or read a book or a blog about him. But being that he is in the realm Ra, who is one of the supreme deities of the Egyptian pantheon, he's also in his protective aspect. So here he is protecting you from chaos and from destruction. It seems like you've known that quote unquote destruction in the past, given what we've already been through here. But as I was saying, you have the tower. With that destruction comes new opportunity for new growth, for new development. Some seeds actually need to be burned before they can germinate and grow, or pass through the digestive system of animals, usually birds, before they can germinate and grow. So there is a life-giving element to destruction, new opportunities. When one door closes, another opens. So remember that. And you are, again, the hand of fate here. You are being protected against destruction so long as you take the time to plan and act with caution. Make sure you are ready. Be vigilant. Okay. Then we have Venus, the planet Venus here. Okay. Again, very sensual, material energy, pleasure and beauty, the things associated with Venus. I'm going to look at the book here because I don't want to get too far off from her astrological aspects here, since this is the astrology oracle. So let's see. The goddess of love blesses relationships of all kinds. As a celestial body, Venus rules over all matters of the heart, from friendship to true love and all the delights of the senses. Its influence brings a desire for intimacy, harmony, and peace. Very similar to Libra, where you have that desire for balance. Part of this desire is the yearning toward beauty, which opens the spirit to a higher realm and feeds both mind and soul. Venus brings an appreciation of art and luxury and influences the way we decorate our homes. Possessions and the things we want are under the auspices of Venus, influencing our individual taste and our attraction to objects. When Venus appears in your oracle reading, you may feel a strong pull toward a person, place, or thing. Follow your heart. So again, the hand of fate. All right, let's see. I think that pretty well summed everything up here, the booklet, for us about Venus. But Venus ultimately just wants happiness, and that energy in our lives. We ultimately just want happiness and comfort and peace. And you can definitely have that so long as you use caution, plan, prepare, wait for the right timing, and then go for it. So let's see what your last oracle card here has to say. I feel like this is so on point. You have the ability to prosper. Let me read it again. You have the ability to prosper. Don't be afraid. You can do it. Okay? You have everything you need to succeed this time. All you need to achieve your goals is to just plan a little bit more, work the strategy angle. You can do it. Last but not least, we have your alphabet oracle here, Chai. If I can get the camera to focus. There we go. Chai or Kai. The oracle verse associated with this oracle is happily press on, says Zeus himself. The keywords for this oracle are energy and confidence. Again, don't be afraid. Don't be discouraged. You can succeed this time and even avoid some struggle here with your planning. Okay, there is another translation of this verse and other keywords associated with it, and that is, Happy end fulfills this golden word. And the keywords for that verse are good luck and success. You have the ability to prosper. Believe in yourself. Take your time to really plan out your next steps, and you can do this, pile one. The cards believe in you. Your guides believe in you. You need to believe in you, because after this reading, I believe in you. So hopefully this has been helpful for you. I guess we'll go ahead and leave it there. There's not much else to say. I would just be repeating myself at this point. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading, pile one. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful, please do, leave a like and maybe consider commenting down below. And if you would like to see more videos from me in the future, please do subscribe. I would love to read for you again. So until then, thank you again so much for joining me, and take care, pile one. Hello, pile two. Thank you so much for joining me for your reading today. I'm going to go ahead and set your alphabet oracle stones. They should be stones, and separate the cards, and lay out the spread, and then I will speed that footage up and get back with you once we are ready for the reading proper. Thank you again so much for joining me. Okay, welcome back, pile two. And before I forget, I just want to say that if this is your pile, you chose the alphabet oracles for Delta and Omega. So we will get to these at the end of the reading. For now, let's go ahead and see what is the dominant energy, theme, or context for this reading. And our topic, again, is what is needed to reach your goals. Okay. All right, just want to make sure my cards are mostly all in frame. So we have here number 22, Grace. And this depicts, I believe this is a beautiful kimono, but I'm not exactly sure. Can't be certain, so please correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, the keywords for Grace are adornment, bring out beauty, elegance, the outer as a reflection of the inner, vanity, charisma, and self-expression. Okay. Then we have power over difficulty. And the keywords for this, or the affirmation, is reclaiming your power. Okay, and then lastly, we have the deity Akeru in the realm Ta. Okay. That is some very interesting energy here that we have going on. For some of you, it seems like, just based on these cards alone and what I'm feeling, you may have had a disagreement or a falling out with someone. And there is a need to reclaim your power by not letting them have power over you. And one way we can do that is by forgiving people for things that they've done to wrong us, rather than holding on to that negativity, that resentment, that anger. Even if it is well-deserved, sometimes for our own peace and well-being, we need to forgive. We need to let that go. Let's take a look at the guidebook for the card here, Akeru. I I'm not especially familiar with this deck, but it always wants to come out when I do tarot readings for YouTube, so forgive me for not being as well versed in these cards as I should be. Okay, so the divinatory meaning of Akeru is a journey, remembering the past in order to know how to act in the present, unconscious memories surfacing, and the continuity of time. So there's obviously a lot more to be said about Akeru. If you would like to pause and read this, you are more than welcome to do so. But for the sake of time, we're just going to go with the divinatory meaning, which again was a journey, remembering the past in order to know the present, unconscious memories surfacing, and the continuity of time. Okay. Let's go ahead and dig into some of your tarot cards here and see if we can get a better picture at what explicitly these might be referring to. So here we have the Emperor. Okay. He is at the heart of the tarot cards on the left side of your reading. We have the Three of Coins. Okay. The Knave of Pentacles, or the Page of Coins. We have Death. We have Temperance. And then we have the Three of Swords. Okay. Very, very interesting energy here for you, pile 2. So again, I was talking earlier about some of this seems to be about disagreements with others, and a need to reclaim your power through forgiveness. It could also be about asking forgiveness if you happen to need forgiveness for something and making amends. It can also be about just moving on from the past. So it's clear that there is some heartbreak and some grief here, and it could have to do with a partnership or teamwork on some level. It seems like there may have been, for some of you, issues of control or leadership over a situation and a lack of balance, leading to the quote-unquote death, the change or end of one situation to the start of another. And now you're left back at the beginning. So the key to reaching your goals then becomes, how do you reclaim your power? Acting with grace is a great first step. When you have the continuity of time, you also have in essence, the repetition of cycles. So it is possible that some of you may be brought back together with the people that you had the falling out with. That could be coworkers, it could be friends, it could be family. Something is going to happen that brings you back together. And letting go of the past will help your future, making peace with your past, finding balance. The balance that was missing before can help you when you go to move forward. When we have balance, we have harmony. When we have harmony, we have an advantageous position from which to begin something new, from which to take an action. That is why it is so important. Let's see here what your oracles have to say. So we have number 2, dominance, believing in yourself. Okay. It seems like for some of you, what happened in the past may have injured your confidence, your self-confidence. Believe in yourself. You are capable of dominating. That may not be the best way to go in certain situations, since you are also encouraged here to act with grace, to bring out the beauty of situations, to mend bridges, as it were, repair the damages. There's also that aspect of self-expression. So you may need to speak up to communicate your truth, given the current situation. And if you are not feeling very confident, believing in yourself and your ability to succeed, because you can succeed if you reclaim your power. You just need to believe in yourself. It's sort of like a self-fulfilling prophecy, or a circle, a self-perpetuating circle of, if you have a lack of confidence, you can't reclaim your power, and you can't reclaim your power because you are lacking confidence. These two go hand in hand. There's a reason why they are across from each other in the reading here. But what supports you reclaiming your power is working through past trauma, working through negative emotions and memories from the past, releasing them as you need to, and also acting with grace in your present and in your future to restore your balance, to give yourself. Remember, the Emperor is about control, is about leadership. And here we have a card about power, reclaiming your power. So power and control issues are the heart of the situation here. The way you achieve your goals, what you need, what you are missing, is your power, your authority. And it seems that the reason it's missing is because of this emotional damage done to relationships with other people in the past. And again, it could be something that someone else did to you. Could be something that you did. Maybe both parties are equally wrong. This is not about judgment. It's about finding that balance. And the first step to that is, finding the source of the problem and working to fix it. And it seems like it lies somewhere in some interpersonal relations. Okay, let's see your next oracle card here. We have air. Seek a union of mind and spirit. I'm going to go ahead and look at the guidebook for this one also, because I don't want to miss any important information here. Let's see. Okay, so we have air. What I find interesting before I get into the book is that it says, seek a union. And for some of you watching this, probably for most of you watching this, that union is about repairing bridges that were damaged in the past between you and people close to you. Whether they are family, friends, a partner, or even just coworkers, neighbors, people in your life on some level. Seek a union. All right, let's see what this has to say here. Air is the element of mind and spirit and represents the unseen forces of nature. Air manifests itself in those who are light-hearted and free-spirited. However, a dreamy, indecisive, and forgetful nature may be attributed to air as well. The signs of the zodiac that are governed by air are Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Air advises to seek guidance in the spiritual, ethereal, and philosophical realms. Okay, so by watching this reading here, you are already getting some guidance, but it may be possible that there is someone connected to your situation on some level who can offer guidance or perspective on how you can repair the bridges and undo some of the damage to give yourself a fresh start and reclaim your power. Let's see. Though unseen, air is a vital component to all life. In this regard, air represents the invisible forces that surround us daily to influence and nurture us. Air provides the open forum to hold ideas aloft and manifests as intellectual thought and analytical reflection. Because it allows unrestricted movement, air symbolizes complete freedom of choice and expression. Don't let anything hold you back from being the person you truly want to be. After contemplating the facts of a situation, speak your mind and share your opinions openly. So don't forget the self-expression aspect of this. For some of you, you may have lost your power because you stopped expressing yourself authentically. And so one way to reclaim that power, believe in yourself and be yourself. Express yourself. Share your thoughts and opinions on things. When we silence ourselves, we do, in a sense, stifle our own power. And so speak up for what you believe in, what you want to fix or change. Okay, let's see, the final paragraph here. Air is an essential ingredient of fire, making it burn hotter and brighter under the right circumstances. Air may ignite if a combustible situation is sparked, but the removal of air will snuff the flames and extinguish the fire. In this regard, air and fire are kindred elements that naturally coexist. Air represents a union of mind and soul, emphasizing a balance of free thinking and philosophical belief. Those influenced by air should strive to keep an open mind and seek the company of intellectual and spiritual equals. Okay, so one thing about restoring the balance here is equalizing the situation with those for whom you have this history of heartbreak or difficulty, pain, tragedy on some level. It is unlikely that the person or people that you are encouraged to mend bridges with are someone who has been extremely toxic, someone who doesn't deserve forgiveness, someone who doesn't deserve your grace in their life. We're talking about someone here where, again, the wrongdoing may have been mutual. That is, both of you may have made missteps in the situation. These are bridges that can be mended, that aren't going to make your life worse. They're going to help you achieve your goal. So one of the first steps to achieving your goal, reclaiming your power. And part of doing that is by mending bridges, by letting go of past anxiety and hurt, reclaiming your power. Okay, let's see here. So we have the Fool, taking a leap of faith. We have the Two of Cauldrons. So here we have the Two of Cups, a union, a partnership, coming into communion with others. Okay. We have the Six of Rods, gaining recognition. This is very positive. It is entirely possible that for some of you, the person who wronged you is ready to apologize and will admit it if you give them an opportunity to do so. If you've been shutting someone else out of your life, opening that door, giving them an opportunity to mend bridges from their side can be helpful for you to gain this recognition, to have this success of reclaiming your power. Then we have the Six of Swords, moving towards a brighter future, moving to a better place. Notice he's standing possibly in a river, going over stepping stone, and there's solid land ahead of him. He's going to be in a much better place, especially carrying those swords. But he's also protected because the path is lined with swords. So this is a very good energy and situation to be in. And we have the close. So this is essentially death. And with death comes rebirth and new opportunities, new beginnings. Okay, last we have the lone man or the hanged man. And I really like this one. Notice that he's hanging there. He could relax his foot and get down, but he's hanging there of his own free will. So notice that you have the lone man here by himself. Then you have this energy of moving towards a better place, which is where you come into communion with others. You have repairing the bridges, essentially. For some of you watching this pile too, that could be about finding new allies in your quest, recovering your power by having a fresh start. But for most of you watching this, this is about mending bridges. Then we have, the end, essentially the transformation of loneliness through moving towards this better place. You have recognition. You have success and victory. All it takes is a leap of faith. Put some trust in the other person, and most importantly, believe in yourself. And the end result is reclaiming your power, empowering yourself to move forward. Okay, let's look at your astrological oracle card here. We have Mercurius, or Mercury. And let's see what Mercury can deal with communications. Remember, he is the messenger of the gods. So again, this is about communicating your self-expression, your truth, opening the door, giving someone else the opportunity to apologize to you for things that they've done wrong, to help mend the bridges, to meet you halfway, essentially. To meet you as an equal, on equal footing, so that you can sort things out, work things out. Okay. I was going to look at the guidebook for this, but I really don't think I need to. I don't feel like I do. So let's go ahead and look at the shadow cards for your reading here. Okay. All right. So we have the corners of the mouth. Remember, the mouth is one of the ways in which we communicate. It is something that we express, even if we aren't expressing verbally. The way we have our mouth can still express a lot. So anyway, the keywords for the corners of the mouth are nourishment, health, well-being, providing for others, creating balance, nurturing the body, mind, and spirit. So we have keywords of this that come back to the air card here, that come back to temperance and grace here. This card is essentially reiterating a lot of the energies that we've already seen here, and basically expressing the importance of creating balance, providing the opportunity to meet with others on equal footing, Meet them halfway, as it were. Express yourself. Nurture your body, mind, and spirit by mending the bridges that have been damaged in the past. It's clearly causing you some grief and heartache, and that is playing a big role in preventing you from reclaiming your power. So this is important energy here. All right, then we have innovation, new creations. So when you reclaim your power, you can create something new. You will have the ability to create something new. As a matter of fact, you still have that ability now by creating an opportunity to mend the bridges that were damaged. Okay? You still have power here. You may not have your full power, but you can exercise your power by offering the olive branch, meeting someone halfway, working towards balance. Okay. Then we have Sokar, the deity in the Duat. And Duat is like the Egyptian underworld or otherworld. And I believe Sokar is a funerary deity, but let's take a look at the book for this one. He is number 1, by the way. If that is, we have 20, 27, and 1 there. Okay, let's see. So Duat, Sokar, 199. Okay. The divinatory meaning of the card for Sokar is darkness, inertia, a time of testing. Yet the seed of a new cycle has been planted. Okay, so yes, he is a funerary deity. You can see there is a sarcophagus here, and you have the Aku of the deceased individual hovering over the body, carrying the, I believe that's called the Shen ring. It is a ring of eternity and essentially eternal life. So again, you can create new opportunities for yourself by addressing past issues. You can essentially open the way forward into eternity by finding that balance, by exercising the power that you have, extending the olive branch and meeting with others, giving yourself and the other person the mutual shared opportunity to mend your bridges, to apologize. Okay? Okay, we have the Knight of Swords. What's interesting about this Knight of Swords is that his approach is unusual. Usually the Knight of Swords is a card about swift action, acting swiftly, but the art on the card seems more measured than that. It's not about hasty action here. There is a measure of preparedness to this. He has his sword drawn and ready to use it if he needs to. So don't rush into the situation unprepared, basically. Believe in yourself and give yourself the best opportunity to meet your goals by being prepared. Try not to be caught too off guard, and don't be hasty. Okay? Now we have the Golem. A close friend acts on your behalf. Okay, that is very interesting. I've never had this card come up in a reading before, so I'm kind of excited. It's like, oh, a new card. All right, let's see. So we have the Golem. I'm not even sure what the cards are organized here. You have the Royal Court, the Realm of Fable, etc. Okay, the Golem is the first card in the realm of fable. So let's, oops, here we go. Okay. So, a bronze knight clutches a great sword in its armored hands. Its eyes shine with an eerie green light, and its armor radiates an unearthly glow, symbolizing the mystical power that energizes it. The golem solemnly stands guard before a sealed gate, signifying its protective nature and its steadfast dedication to its mission. The golem represents one who is indentured or motivated to do your bidding, such as a loyal friend who acts on your behalf or puts your interests before their own. When abused, the golem may become an instrument of vengeance or destruction. However, such actions will often trigger harmful repercussions. In mythology, a golem was a creature formed from clay and brought to life through mystic words. Once alive, the golem was a slave to its master's commands. As a faithful and trusted minion, the golem will heedlessly serve your interests, granting your every desire while expecting nothing in return. The golem signifies mindless devotion. It may represent someone to whom you have delegated specific responsibilities or someone who represents you in your absence. Before I continue here, that really brings me back to power, control, authority, leadership being a central issue here. And I find it interesting that we have this more measured Knight of Swords over the Emperor in your reading here. That actually makes sense, that rather than being hasty or reckless, this Knight of Swords is, in the very least, prepared for the situation that he's going into. And for some of you, that may require, or you may benefit from, the support of a friend there to help you. Believe in yourself, but if you still need that extra boost of support, have those friends, keep them close to help support you. Let's see. The golem may also symbolize someone who may be easily swayed. If this person admires or respects you, their opinion or personality may be shaped by your words. With the proper motivation, the golem will serve you well in your time of need. Okay? So for some of you, the person that you are at odds with at the moment is probably just as eager to get back in balance with you as you are with them. And by mending those bridges, you resume your position of authority, at least within yourself, if not within the relationship dynamics. Let's see. We have transformation, defining yourself. So again, we have a card with that essence of self-expression. Okay, transforming yourself, defining yourself, speaking for yourself, explaining your actions, maybe something that this is about. Transforming the situation by sharing your side of the story. To do that, you have to create the opportunities that will allow you to do so. Okay? Believe in yourself, create transformation, recover your power. Give yourself new opportunities. Create new opportunities for yourself. Okay, then we have the Three of Rods. This is about taking practical steps to achieve your goal, to essentially recover your power, reclaim your power. Okay, and then we've got Saturnus or Saturn. This can be very difficult energy. Let's look at the guidebook for this. I don't want to assume the worst, as it were. So let's see. Luna, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Neptune, Saturnus. Okay. While Jupiter represents boundless expansion and limitless opportunity, Saturnus represents containment, boundaries, and limitations. This god controls the reality of time passing and the movement through life toward death. Astrologically, Saturn brings structure and law to the human endeavor, which can be challenging as obstacles are faced and overcome. Saturn's energy is restrictive, defining what cannot or should not be done. Through examination of these limitations, Saturn points out what duty and responsibility we are accountable for in this lifetime. Saturn brings both fear and the conquering of fear. Okay? Saturn brings both fear and the conquering of fear, which we have here in the Three of Swords, which we have reflected here in the lack of self-confidence, of believe in yourself. When Saturnus appears in your oracle reading, it is a sign that you are dealing with important milestones on your soul's journey through life. Okay? There could be an element of this about divine support. It could be having the support of friends to help you achieve your goals, to get through your fear and your reservations about the situation. Also, overcoming your fear of communicating, since we have Saturn above Mercury here. Don't allow fear to hold you back. Believe in yourself. Okay? Taking that leap of faith from the Fool is going to yield beautiful results. So let's see what your last oracle card has to say here. That is, express your creativity in a way that is fun. Okay? That's sort of an affirmation, but again, it's reiterating this need for self-expression. And what's interesting is that this one here mentions creativity. You have new creations and innovation here. For some of you, this may be a first for you, this experience, and this situation may be a first for you. That there may be a newness to it, which is kind of worrying you. It's okay to say, I made a mistake. It's okay to apologize. In fact, it's better to do that than not to do that, because usually you just leave people hurt. It might feel better for the ego not to admit wrongdoing, but it's not going to help you grow. You know, being in this old safe space of protecting your ego feels good because it's comfortable. There's no challenge there, and therefore there's no growth. Saturn here, it said that he limits expansion and opportunities. He also opens the way for it. So you can stay in fear, you can stay in reservation, you can protect your ego, or you can open the doors yourself, create the opportunity to grow by challenging yourself, by doing what is scary, but also what is right. And this is just for some of you, not all of you. Pile 2. So obviously, if what I'm saying doesn't resonate with your context, you know, just leave it be for those, the viewers it is meant for. All right, so now we have your alphabet oracles. We have Delta, or Delta. Come on in focus, camera. There we go. Delta. And we have Omega. Okay, so for Delta, we have the oracle verse here. Dodge the dreadful deeds. Avoid harm. And the keywords for that are prudence and caution. So this is final thoughts to keep in mind here about the situation. Be cautious, be prepared. Don't be hasty or reckless. And it's so odd that that is coming out of the Knight of Swords, but there it is. There is an alternative translation for the oracle verse for Delta, and that is, drive ill-timed is weak before the rules. So that is about waiting for the right moment and opportunities. Properly timing your approach to the situation. The keywords for that secondary verse translation is appropriateness. And then we have omega. And omega essentially repeats delta, but in another way. So the oracle verse for omega is otios is the fruit that is plucked unripe. And an otios fruit is one that has little sustenance. The seeds are not going to be fully formed, so you can't grow more fruit from it. The keywords for this oracle are patience and timing. So again, having the right timing for the way you approach this situation is important. You may need to plan and take certain steps to ultimately benefit the outcome of the situation by not rushing into it and being hasty, maybe thinking about what you want to say in detail. You can even write it down or make a list of key points that you want to discuss, whatever it may be. Having the right timing and the right approach are going to benefit you as you move forward and address the situation. Okay, pile 2. So I'm going to go ahead and leave you there with that. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that this reading has been helpful for you on some level. Please do, leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. And if you would like to join me for another video in the future, please do consider subscribing so that I can see you in another reading. Until then, take care, pile 2, and good luck mending the bridges and restoring the balance and reclaiming your power. Take care. Hello, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. If this is your pile, you chose the alphabet oracles Omega and Lambda. Omicron and Lambda. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and lay out the cards and get the spread ready. I'll speed up the footage and then I will see you for the reading proper when we are ready. Okay, so the topic of this reading, again, is what is needed to reach your goals. And the central column of cards here represents the dominant theme, energy, or context for the reading. Also, we will go over your alphabet oracles at the end of the reading, in case I didn't already say that. So, let's see. We have this card here does have nudity. I apologize. So if that is an issue, maybe skip ahead a little bit. I don't know. It's not bad. It's pretty tiny. So, but anyway, the keywords for this card, number 48, the well, are seeking truth, wisdom, insight, intuitive knowing, return to the source, and getting to the bottom of things. And what is interesting about this card is that the woman is diving into water. Water is very purifying. So for some of you, there's more than just diving deep and seeking truth and wisdom, but there may be a need for purification and, in essence, a fresh start. But let's look at your other cards here and see if we can get more context. So here we have clarity, planning and releasing illusion. Okay? That very strongly resonates with this one here. Clarity, having clear thought and clear sight, clear insight as well. It definitely relates to the intuitive knowing of and the insight of the well here. You know, when we bathe, when we clean ourselves, we wash away the dirt, we give ourselves that fresh perspective, in a sense, in the context of these cards. Okay. Wow. So last we have the deity Heru, or Horus, and his realm is Ra. And Horus is a god of the sunlight. He is an illuminator. So that is very powerful energy here for you. It seems like for some, if not all of you, pile 3, there's something that is hidden from you right now. And for some of you, releasing illusion, you may be blocking it from yourself. And so to reach your goals, you need to have an epiphany. You need to have seek truth and wisdom, see the truth of a situation, dispel and release the illusion. And Horus, god of the sun, the sunlight illuminates, it reveals, he can help you. This energy can help you do that. So let's see what is at the heart of your tarot cards here. We have the 8 of Wands. Okay, there is a need for some directed action here in the seeking truth. You have the Knight of Cups, or Chalices. Very beautiful card. We have the 10 of Swords. Okay. You have the 2 of Coins. The Knave, or the Page of Swords. And then we have the High Priestess. That is so interesting because the High Priestess her energy is a very feminine energy that is full of intuitive knowing. This is not book learning and things of that sort. This is knowing on a gut level, an internal, a deep level. And the well, diving deep inside yourself, gaining clarity by releasing illusion, seeking truth, seeking intuitive knowing about a situation. So there may be, for some of you, a situation that gave you an impression, but you ignored that impression, perhaps to give the situation or the person some favor, give them a benefit of a doubt, that things aren't as bad as what they seem, or, I will let them give me a reason to doubt or question first before I do it. But you're encouraged to listen to your intuition here. With the Knight of Cups, we have a call to take action. And with the Knave of Swords, or the Page of Swords, we have a need for vigilance, for being on your guard, for knowing what is going on around you. And a need to listen to your gut, to listen to your intuition and what it is telling you, to guide you, to help you get to the truth. It seems like for a lot of you, you're holding on to some kind of idea, some sort of impression about something that is incorrect. Listening to your intuition will help you find balance, will help you find the truth of a situation. And you will be able to grant yourself a fresh start a new cycle with a clear look at things, or to basically to sever the connections, as it were, to whatever it is that you have the wrong impression about. Seems like there is something that's not going the way that you might think it is, or And if you listen to that inner voice inside of you, you can avoid the possible difficulty, possible tragedy by getting a fresh start. And when you have that clarity of your inner voice guiding you, you can direct your action to more productive goals, essentially to achieve your goals. This is very Eight of Swords energy here, where sometimes we keep ourselves trapped in a situation. We willingly cover our eyes or look away, hide from the truth of something. You're encouraged to see the truth for what it is and to react to the truth of the situation accordingly, whatever way that may be. Here we have inspiration for your dragon, Star Dragon Oracle card. And let's take a look at the guidebook and what it has to say about this card. I have some ideas, but this energy is kind of intense. I'm not going to lie. This is probably one of the more difficult energies that I've had to deal with in a YouTube tarot reading. So, I don't want to be hasty or reckless with it. So let's see. Okay, inspiration. So it says here, the constellation associated with the card is Coma Berenike, Berenike's hair. The star is Diadem, so like a crown. And Alpha Come Berenike, I think is the name of this, another name for the star, maybe. Anyway, let's see. So, Wisdom of the Herald. That is the card. Inspiration is the Herald. Listen to the whispers of the wind and the deeper energies flowing in every situation for new ideas and creativity. They can be found all around you. The wisdom of the dragon. I am everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Listen to my call and be inspired. Draw from me for your new undertaking. I will be available to you in all points, times, and places. I am abundant energy just ready to be plucked from the ether. When I strike, often without warning, be inspired. And then the Star Dragon invocation. The General of Inspiration beckons you to heed the call of a source of abundant creativity that is larger than yourself. Draw from the well of inspiration and you will no longer be thirsty. Now is the time for inspiration and creativity to enter your life. Okay. So that is very, very interesting. For some of you watching this pile 3, what you are ignoring is maybe you are not listening to your voice on creative decisions, your internal voice. And you're encouraged to listen to it. But in general, this card is encouraging you to listen to your inner voice, which includes the voice that is creative and inspired, but also the voice that gives you guidance. Okay, let's see. So here we have the Green Man. The forces of nature favor you. So nature, natural forces, again, that intuitive internal voice that guides you. It's important and it needs to be heard. Another aspect of the Green Man is the rejuvenation of nature after winter, after a fallow period. The reblossoming, the regrowth, the regeneration. Listening to your voice, your inner voice, your inner guidance can, in essence, not just offer you clarity, but also reinvigorate you on how to proceed It is, in essence, listening to your inner voice is, in essence, how you achieve your goal. Listening to your internal guidance. Another interesting aspect about the green man here is that expression of his. It's called a quote unquote howling expression. And it says in the guidebook something about it being inspired by the mouth of truth. And essentially, he bites the hands of liars because he is inspired by truth. If you continue to ignore your inner guidance and your intuition, your inspiration, your hand may be bitten because you are, in essence, lying to yourself. So you need to allow that inner voice to howl with the mouth of truth, to guide you. It's trying to protect you. It's trying to help you. And stifling it, ignoring your intuition, only hurts you in the end. With the Ten of Swords here. The green man is really a sign that your endeavors towards reaching your goal will bear fruit and be more productive if you let nature take its course, if you listen to your internal guidance. Okay, let's see what this side of the reading has for you. So we have the King of Coins, a very abundant, fruitful figure in the tarot. We have the Magician, again, someone very creative and powerful. Because he listens to his inner voice, he knows what he really wants, and he's able to manifest it. The Six of Cauldrons, or the Six of Cups. The Queen of Swords, someone else who has, the Queen of Swords, someone else who has clear thought, clear vision. She carries her sword in balance, and she can wield it when she wants to because she is in tune with her inner environment. Rather than letting it fully control her, rather than fighting against it, she is in balance with it. And so she can swing the sword in any way she wants to. She doesn't lose her cool. She's not overwhelmed by emotion or illogical, irrational thinking. This is someone who sees clearly, whose thought and sight on a situation pierce straight to the heart of it. You can't really hide much from the Queen of Swords. There are no secrets here, and this is how you need to be able to be abundant and creative and fruitful, to create what you desire. We have the King of Cups here. Wow, you have a lot of court cards all throughout your reading. That's very interesting. And then the King of Rods. Okay. All right, so yeah, it does seem like with so many court cards here, especially particularly this side of the reading, that some of you are ignoring the truth about a person or people in your life. And it could be that some of them are trying to help you see the truth of the matter, a friend or family member, whatever the case may be. Someone is trying to help you see the reality of the situation, to reveal the truth of things, as it were. All of these figures are people who are balanced. This is very balanced energy. We have these two here who are very creative. And it is that creativity is, again, it comes back to in part being in touch with that inner voice. But you have literally all of the elements represented here. You have pentacles, swords, rods, and cauldrons. So you need balance, you need unity within yourself to see the truth and to act on it. Okay, let's see your astrological oracle. Here we have Virgo. There are some metallic elements there that are difficult to see, but with Virgo, Virgo is a constellation called, quote unquote, the Virgin. There is an aspect of purity and clarity to the constellation of Virgo, which brings us back to the well of diving in, not just to the truth, but to give yourself clarity, to have a fresh start, essentially, by purifying the illusion, dispelling and releasing it. So that is very important, that whatever guidance you are ignoring that your inner voice is trying to tell you, it's important that you make time to listen to it and to see the truth of a matter. All right, let's take a look at your shadow cards. This has been a very interesting reading. Hopefully you are enjoying it and getting useful information out of it as well. There's a lot of complex energy here to try and interpret into words. So, all right, so we have decrease. That's number 41, and the keywords are decline, cutting back, frugality, contraction, letting go, less is more, resourcefulness, and a sacrifice. So this very well could be about sacrificing the illusion. Spring gives way to summer and then to fall, and the temporary illusion and joy of the green, flowering, abundant world is shattered by the reality of winter and the period of renewal that needs to come with winter, with fall. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Go with the flow. Letting go, cleansing, and receiving. So that again, cleansing and purifying and letting go. That, I mean, you have it here, a keyword here and a keyword there. Let go. Release illusion. Whatever reality you are avoiding, you can't avoid it forever. There is a truth of a situation that you need to accept, that you need to let come to light. And when you do that, you can free yourself from something that is, in essence, false on some level. You also give yourself a fresh start. You give yourself renewal, as well as honesty and a clear perspective. Okay. Here we have the realm Ra and the deity Ausar, also called Osiris. So you have a father and a son here. For some of you, this dynamic or situation may have to deal with family members. Ausar was actually deceived by his brother Seth, or Set, who actually came up in Pile 2's reading, I believe. He was deceived and he lost his throne. And eventually his son was able to inherit it for him. His wife, Isis, was able to help him. But if he had seen the reality of the situation ahead of him, if he could have known that his brother was coveting his throne, he could have avoided tragedy. In the end, he was separated from his wife and child. You, in essence, have an opportunity to avoid your own tragedy on some level if you just open up. Open to the truth. Open to your inner voice and guidance about a situation. There's this narrative that intuition is a terrible way to make sense of the world. But I mean, a lot of people are saved by their intuition every day. You know, if a woman meets a strange man walking home at night or something, and her intuition tells her, you know, that guy doesn't have good intentions, she can protect herself. But if she ignores that, she tries to give him the benefit of the doubt, not judge him without having good reason to do so, she could get hurt. Intuition is very important for helping us navigate the world safely. Don't let people devalue it, because it is very powerful. If you are someone who is very spiritual, who does any sort of psychic work, if you are a tarot reader yourself, you should know very well the importance of intuition and why it is important that you let go of whatever the illusion is that you're hanging on to. Okay? So, let's see. We have the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is very much a card of surrender and a decrease. It's very, very similar energy. Decrease has, you know, this sort of hibernation element to it. You go into a deep sleep to rest, rejuvenate, recover. That is what the Four of Swords is about. You dispel this illusion. You give yourself time to heal from it. You accept it. Go into hibernation with it. Rest, rejuvenate, and start again. And that is actually an aspect of Ausar or Osiris here as well, that there is rejuvenation or resurrection, regeneration, however you want to say it, after a period of difficulty. And that is the cycle of things. Like, you can hold on to the illusion and get hurt and go through something potentially tragic, and you will heal, you will regenerate and rejuvenate in time. But wouldn't it be better to avoid the tragedy in the first place and not have your life, your path, your desires, what you desire to create and manifest, be derailed by illusion, by thinking something is one thing and finding out the hard way that it was never that at all? Okay, here we have destruction, releasing your anger. Given the situation, releasing anger is definitely a valid and understandable response to it. If that is what you, pile 3, the individual watching this right now, feels that you need to do, once you've come to terms with the illusion, once you have figured out the truth of the situation, by finding that clarity, giving yourself that clarity. Again, destruction is like decrease. Endings provide new beginnings. One door closes, another one opens. Fall and winter eventually give way to spring. It always comes back around. Okay? This card pretty well speaks for itself. The Seer, follow your intuition. Don't let your hand get bitten because you are lying to yourself. Follow your intuition. Okay. Here we have temptation. I believe this is the devil. We have a very Adam and Eve scene here, although not really because the figures are clothed, but with the devil, we are often surrendering our power, giving it up to things that are more pleasing. In this case, it is the illusion. You need to resist the temptation. Take your power back from the illusion. It's important that you do that so that you are able to create what you desire with this situation to reach your goals. That is the topic of our reading here, is what you need to achieve your goals. Clear thought, insight, intuition about the situation, listening to that insight and intuition, resisting temptation to see things that aren't really there, to see illusions. You need to see the truth. And that is a gift that you need to give yourself. Your inner voice is apparently trying to give it to you. So, okay. Then we have Neptune or Neptunus. I would like to look at the guidebook for him, just to see what it has to say here. So, Neptunus. Neptunus, god of the sea, invites us to dive deep. Dive deep. And bring up treasure from the watery depths. The treasure for you is truth, is clear sight. Understanding the reality of a situation. Astrologically, Neptune's influence carries us into the oceanic realm of visions and dreams. Sort of like illusions. This celestial body inspires poetry and fantasy, flights of fancy, and pearls of wisdom. Neptune rules matters of spirituality, compassion, and a longing for understanding and serenity. Okay. Neptune's energy here is encouraging you to have compassion for yourself and to find serenity, which you can get in the Four of Swords, in the resting and rejuvenation, by seeing the reality of a situation and basically stopping whatever it is so that you can direct your energy back into the right direction, the direction that you want it to go. This is a very powerful card, very much related to everything we've been talking about, really. He is here to basically loudly proclaim, like the Green Man, the need for truth and internal honesty. That insight is going to give you wisdom, and it's going to help you progress in the way that you want to not be derailed, to not, quote unquote, lose your kingdom, as it were. Okay, so we have one last oracle here for you. It is mostly just an affirmation of sorts. Only in the darkness can we see the stars. Your intuition is like the light in the darkness, is like the stars. It can guide you, can illuminate your way, but you have to trust it. You have to listen to it. And the reality may be darker than you might like it to be. Again, you may feel a need when you accept it to release your anger, and that's okay. But once you're in the dark, you can see the stars, Once you're in the depths of winter, you're getting closer and closer to spring. There is a silver lining in all of this, whatever happens with the situation, and it will get better eventually. But the best thing for you now, according to this guidance, for you to achieve your goals is to accept the reality of things as they are and to try to change them before things stray too far from the path where you want them to go. Okay, that brings us to our alphabet oracles here. We have Omicron and Lambda. Come on. If my camera would like to focus, there we go. Lambda. So for Omicron, we have the oracle verse, out of sight are crops that are not sown. If you don't see the truth of the situation, whatever it is that you are hiding from yourself by ignoring your intuition, at least for some of you, for those of you who are doing it, for some of you, it may not be that you are willingly ignoring your intuition. For some of you, it may be that your intuition isn't maybe chiming up as loudly about a situation that you haven't been given reason to. Out of sight are crops that are not sown. If you do not dispel the illusion, you won't have a chance to sow the crops that you would like to. I mean, you might eventually, that opportunity will come around again. It's just, why miss it now when, if you find the truth, give yourself the gift of clarity, listen to your inner voice. You don't have to wait for it to come back around again. You can have it now. You can make the most of your situation now. The key words with Omicron are effort and foresight. And then we have Lambda. Leave off grief and then await delight is the oracle verse for Lambda, which is very much a Four of Swords energy. If you feel a need to grieve and to maybe be angry, that's okay. But you can heal, just release the grief. There's nothing wrong with being deceived, either self-deception or, just simply not seeing the reality of a situation from the start. There's nothing wrong with that. There is no shame in that. We all do it sometimes. It happens to every single one of us. So leave off grief and then await delight. The keywords for that oracle are relief and joy. There's also an alternate translation for that verse, which goes, lovely bodes the widespread word of all things. And the meaning for that verse, the keywords are good omen. Listen to your intuition. It is trying to bring you a good omen. If your intuition is not speaking to you, if you're not hearing it, you can try to connect to it. But there is a truth of a situation that you're not seeing, that it would help you to see it, see the reality of it, what is going on. There could be imbalances somewhere. Again, you have the four elements here, and they're all independent of each other. You need to bring them into harmony so that you can create what you desire. And to do that, to achieve your goals, the fundamental thing is seeing the truth and the reality of the situation. So I am going to leave you with that, pile 3. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading. I hope that you found it helpful. I know it was a bit intense, and I apologize if I wasn't able to put everything into the best words for you, but hopefully this at least gives you some idea of what you need to give a second look at, or give a closer look at, whatever the case may be. So all of that said, again, thank you so much for watching and for joining me. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please do, leave me a like, comment down below, let me know what you think. And if you'd like to join me for another video, please consider subscribing, and hopefully I will see you again in a future video. So until then, good luck, pile 3. Take care. And thanks again for watching.